Ready? Alright, let's go. Hello everyone. Hi. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Audrey. And that is my son, Jonathan, sitting in the back seat. And we're just going to go for a quick ride around the neighborhood, I guess, a couple of times. It's really hot already. Johnny and I just went for a walk. And honestly, it's too hot. It's too hot to walk. And it's 10:30 in the morning. So hope you guys are doing well. And if you're new here, this channel is just about life, relationships, money, problems in general, just stuff. I do have a second YouTube channel, which is crime over there. So that's the Salty Psychic channel. I am a psychic. So be forewarned, I am a psychic. I am. There's no denying it. You know, I don't hide that anymore because it's such a big part of my life in so many different ways that you're gonna know it's gonna come out. I can't hide it. I don't want to hide it anymore. So I've only been out of the closet for about 15 years or so. I have had some ghost activity. A lot of ghost activity. The other night, stuff on my desk was moving again, and Chase wasn't home, and so I went and got Benjamin, my other son, and it's just, I don't like it. I don't like when spirits do that, but it's obviously a spirit trying to get my attention, which is okay. If I don't respond, the activity may get worse. If I do respond, the activity might get worse. So I'm not sure who it is. Now, I've mentioned there's a couple of different things going on at the house. So I have a ghost where he walks. It's a he. I can see him. I can visually see him, which is different than the other ghost who's moving stuff around around the house, knocked off a mirror, knocked off a basket I had on my wall, stuff's moving. Two different ghosts, two different spirits. So the other spirit in the living room, the guy, he's getting a little more aggressive, and I don't like it because he's showing himself for a little bit longer at a time. So instead of one split second, it might be 1.5 seconds. It's like you look away and look back and it's gone. Well, now I look away and look back and it's still there. So it's nothing dangerous that I can tell or anything. I have some sage spray, which I can use on him. And some people are like, oh, that's really disrespectful to the Native Americans if you use sage. I don't know why people say that. I don't have that experience at all. In fact, I was at a Native American institution, corporation, I don't know what to call it, and I love channeling Native Americans. They have the strongest energy. They're clear about things. They don't pull any punches. They don't mess around. It's very clear what the messages they're saying. And time again, the same message comes through when I inquire about using sage. The spirits say, no, we're glad you white people or whatever people are trying some of our methods. You should have been doing this for a long time. So they basically okay, well, you're really ignorant and uneducated, but yeah, this is a thing, and yeah, you should be doing it. I get to give these messages, and it's like, yeah, I don't know these people, but you know what? It's a blessing. I know that's a churchy word, okay? I'm not churchy, but I can't think of another word other than blessing. It is a blessing for me to channel people, because I get a lot out of it. Let's go down this street, John. Oh no, that's a bus stop. No, that's not a street. I still don't know my neighborhood very well. Let's try this street. Oh, it's hot. So I get a lot out of it. It blesses me. It does. And it helps me to understand the visions that I'm seeing and the words that I'm hearing from Spirit. Because every reading I learn something new. Which is, it's amazing. I love when Spirit's showing me or explaining to me new things. It's really trippy. But so I love it. John, have we been down this street before? I think we have. These are the same houses like we live in, this brand or whatever. There's one for sale. It just sold. My house is okay. We're renting, but I don't think I'd want to buy my house that we're living in, the specific one, because I don't want to stay in this neighborhood. I want to move out a little bit to the east, closer to the Sierras. It's only like 15 minutes. Yeah, look at that. Now we're back in the country. Okay, now we're going to go back towards the city. Yeah, we definitely need a pool. Come on, John. I told Chase I want a pool. When we buy a house, if it doesn't have a pool, let's have a pool put in. I want a pool where you can like just sit in it. You know, I don't swim. He swims. And Benjamin swims. But Johnny and I are not water creatures. We don't like getting wet. But it is refreshing going inside a pool. But I've seen like in Fiji, in places like that, where you can walk into the pool. So the pool's like at a complete flat surface. And then as you walk into it, it gets deeper slowly. And like it doesn't get over 5 feet or something. Something like that. That would be wonderful. Hot tub. Yeah, hot tubs are nice, but I don't know. I'm more concerned about having a pool. Huh, John? Let's go down this street a little bit, and then we'll come back around and go home. There's a lot of agriculture here, so there's a lot of dust in the air, dirt. A lot of dirt in the air, so our allergies had to change from Bay Area, San Jose allergies to these allergies, which is different. There's no like gasoline smog or anything like that, but there's dirt and you can see it. Which, not great, but it is what it is. We'll go up here and turn around at the shopping center, okay? Johnny has been talking a lot. Talking, quotes. Huh, John? He's doing this new noise with his mouth, and I think he's just kind of discovered that he can make this noise with his mouth, but it's really messy, if you know what I mean, you know, out of the mouth. Very messy. This guy's going to be honking at me any second. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not sure what that is with him, but it's fun. It's fun watching him discover that he can do things. He used to be able to do a lot of things. Oh, John, I don't know if he remembers. Do you remember? Do you remember who you used to be, who you were? Do you remember that boy that used to mow the lawn every day? Every day. Sometimes even more than once a day, he would mow the lawn. He knew how to turn it on. He knew how to turn it on, and he would go up and down the yard, up and down. Yeah. So funny. But your naughty grandma has all of those pictures, doesn't she? So we'll probably never have those photos, which is fine. It's worth it. It's, you know what? It is what it is. Sometimes you got to cut people out of your life. Not by desire, but because you have to. All right. What do we have here? Little Caesars. Oh, there's some pho. Smoke shop. Lawns. So many grocery stores. Chase and I just call the grocery stores Shaw's, because in Vermont, that was the store there, was called Shaw's. So we literally just call every grocery store Shaw's, because we can't remember the name of all the grocery stores wherever we're at. So we call them Shaw's, which is basically Safeway. If you know Safeway, it's the same company, just different name. Oh, look at that old man. Isn't he cute? Hey, I need a dad. You want to be my dad? He looks very nice. He reminds me of my old music teacher who's passed, Mr. Tyler. I do miss having, well, I was going to say parents. I don't miss having a mother, because that's awful. She's awful. But I do miss my dad, even though, see, it can make me cry. I do miss having a dad, even though he was a liar. My dad lied a lot. Basically pretended to be somebody he's not with me, because really he was being the way my mom wants him to be. It's complicated. It's very complicated. I've always been protective over my dad, because my mom's always been really mean to him. And I've had talks with my mom, like, stop treating my dad like that. That's awful. Oh, he doesn't care. Yes, he does. And if he doesn't, then there's something wrong with him, and he needs to be, he needs help. So, yeah. And I know Johnny was like my dad's son. My dad, I worked full time. My dad took care of Johnny. He retired to take care of John. Oh. And so, how awful is that, to pull yourself out of our lives? Well, it was a mutual thing, but my parents cut Jonathan off too, which is awful. But you know what? We can't have that kind of toxicity in our life. And it's, believe you me, it's a required thing. We can't have anything to do with each other. Anyway, I do miss having a dad. I liked taking care of my dad. But once I figured out who he really is, it's like there's no use. There's no use in spending any time feeding him, helping him, nothing. Anyway, it's complicated. It's a lot. What are these people doing? Are you homeless? What's happening? Oh, yeah, you poor thing. You look homeless. All right, well, I don't want my eyelashes to fall off because of narcissistic people. So, yep, that's that. All right, we're about home, John. You ready to have some lunch? Early lunch? Maybe, maybe not. I could use another cup of coffee, even though it's so hot. Iced coffee is good. I had iced coffee for the first time when Benjamin and I were in Orlando, where it was like 100 degrees and 100% humidity. And there was lightning striking at Disney World, and we're running around barefoot. Oh my God. Good times, good times. All right, let's get in the garage. Here we go. Yay. Okay, now don't pull up too close. I have my little guide right there. Okay. Because somebody hit the front of the car. I don't know if it was me. I don't remember hitting anything. Oh God, now I sound like Karen Reed, don't I? That lady who hit her boyfriend. Anyway. Hey, you know what time it is? I'm headed to the kitchen right now for a new recipe for this week's vlog. It is Hispanic or Mexican based. I am half Hispanic, and this is kind of my take. So it's like a Cal-Mex dish with rice beans, and it can go in the oven or you can just finish it off on the stovetop, but it's fast. All right, let's go.
It's time for a new recipe!
Okay, so here are the ingredients, and you can totally change this around to fit whatever you have in your pantry already. Make it easy. This is just basically an idea for you, and you can change things around. So, Mexican cheese. I love this cheese so much. It's very good. So I'm not going to put the whole thing. I will put probably a quarter of this in the dish. I found some olives in the fridge, so I sliced them up, and I'm going to use this bunch right here. I'm going to eat those just by themselves. We have garlic, we have pepper, salt, we have crushed red peppers, and cumin. Excuse me, cumin, my mom used a lot in her cooking. We have some taco mix. You don't need a ton. You definitely don't need a whole packet, so we're going to put a couple of shakes of taco mix in there. Diced tomatoes, corn, and black beans that we're going to rinse. A little bit of veg broth. And this is an instant Spanish rice from Walmart. It's pretty good. I mean, it doesn't taste like super homemade Mexican, but it's good. And this is the pan we're going to use. This one can go in the oven. And over here we have a little bit of bell pepper, some red onion, and then some fresh cilantro that I just picked up this morning. All right, so we're going to heat up the pan with some olive oil, and we're going to saute the onions, the garlic, the pepper, and the cilantro. All right, let me put you down so you can follow along. Okay, a little bit of olive oil in there, and I'm going to put some garlic. I'm a garlic lover. I always put too much garlic, so I'll try and control myself. This is probably about a teaspoon, yeah. I'm gonna blitz up the onion and the bell pepper. Okay, this is not a lot of bell pepper. I would say a couple tablespoons, and then not much onion either, just a little bit. It's not, I don't want it to be overpowering. I think people forget to cook their onions and their other things they put in here. It brings out the flavor if you can cook these first before tossing them in, because if you make a dish and you just toss these in with everything else, you're not going to get the right flavor of these things. So it does make a big difference. It's like butter. You know, if you have regular butter and you put it in a cookie mix, that's going to taste much different if you have a browned butter. Putting a browned butter, it's the same item, just cooked. So it does make a difference. Okay, let's get some cilantro. Okay, again, I'm not measuring. It's just a little bit of a handful of fresh cilantro. We grow this in our yard, but right now we don't have any ready. All right, let's go ahead and get the stove turned on. All right, well, that's warming up. I'm going to put this in the microwave for a minute. This is instant rice. It's pretty good. Ooh, somebody left a pancake in here. Let's see. Do I have to tear this open? Yes. Get that going. And you can serve this with corn tortillas or flour tortillas. I grew up having homemade tortillas, but honestly, I prefer I prefer store-bought tortillas. So maybe you don't like the orange bell pepper and you want green or red. Ooh, that rice is sounding like popcorn. All right, so we're going to take that rice out. All right, I'm going to throw the olives in too. It's interesting traveling not only overseas, but within the United States of places that don't have Mexican food. It's very strange to me. When we were in Vermont, there was no ethnic food of any kind. All right, so I'm going to put just a couple of shakes. Of this powder mix. Turn the stove down a little. Black pepper. Salt. And you can put as much salt as you like. A lot of people have to have, they can only have a little bit of salt, so that's why one thing nice about doing stuff at home. And a couple of shakes, not a ton, a couple of shakes of the turmeric. Woo. All right, just gonna put a splash of this broth. One can of diced tomatoes. And you can get the tomatoes that has spice in it already if you want. This does not. This is just tomatoes that are chopped up. And I'm just going to let that sit there for a couple minutes. Yum, yum. Okay. Okay, I drained and rinsed and drained these black beans. I have some canned corn. My husband does not care for corn that much. If it was me, I'd put the whole can in. But I'm just going to put a little bit of it in. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid on this for a few minutes while I cut up that Mexican cheese. Okay, here is the Mexican cheese. I chopped it into little tiny squares. I used a quarter of that package, so not a super lot, but we are going to add some other cheese on top of this. So we're going to continue to let this just come together and get all the juices flowing and let everything emerge to one delicious pot. Okay. All right, so the last step is I'm going to put some Fiesta blend cheese on top. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, and then we'll stick this in the oven. So the cheese will get nice and crispy in the oven. Just make sure your pan can go in the oven. This pan can. Okay. All right, let's get this in the oven. I don't know how for long, maybe 20 minutes. I'll just keep an eye on it to see what the cheese looks like. So when the cheese is melted and a little toasty looking, then I know it's time to take it out. So probably 375 for 20 minutes. All right, let's go. Okay, so it's out of the oven. And, oh, turn that off. I don't know if you can see, but it is crispy. It's nice and crispy. So I'm going to let it cool for maybe 10, 20 minutes. Not sure. I'm going to let it cool down, and then we'll dish it up and have a taste. Yum. Okay, you guys, it's out of the oven. It's cooled down, and I've put some on a plate here. And let's give it a try. It smells really, really good. That's good. Benjamin's here. Oh my gosh, so good. Nice and salty. Not too salty. The cheese gives it a little salt. The bell pepper, the rice, the beans. So good. You need to try this one. Super fast, super easy. I'm going to go heat up a tortilla and finish this up. Thanks so much for watching this week's vlog. You're staring at me.
Sorry.
Thanks for checking out this week's vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget my other channel where we talk about crime and news events and stuff going on there. And I'll see you guys real soon. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for watching Audrey Christine. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to check out Audrey's YouTube crime channel, The Salty Psychic at Audrey Briggs 68.